for closed passage, we always fall back on context, right? And as step 1, we skim the passage. So we have an idea what the context is about. It will help us identify the correct options, the associated words that will fit in this context. And we also always have to remember that there is always a clue, even for the third blank in the first line of the passage or the last line of the passage. So that's why context is very important when it comes to closed passage. Yeah? So keeping that in mind, I want you to start with doing a quick skim, and then we will brainstorm each of the blanks. I'm projecting the question for you. Blank 1, let's read the context. Culture describes a certain set of customs, ideas and social behavior of a group of similar people in a society. So we've just looking at the topic sentence, and if you've gone through the entire passage, you know that the context is culture itself, right? That's our content word, it's about that. And they are bringing various aspects to culture, correct? So now let's focus on blank 1 and see what is a clue word in the context that is helping us pick the right answer option. So geographical borders usually dash cultures. Geographical borders usually dash cultures. So some of you are from Delhi, some of you are from Mumbai, some of you are from Kerala, some of you are from Chennai. So those geographical borders, right? And what is culture? First line says that, right? Culture describes a certain set of customs, ideas, social behavior of a group of similar people in a society. So which means the geographical border of each of these states are doing what to those cultures? My options: rotates, categorizes, groups, binding, segregate. What can be the most appropriate word or option? What is my clue for blank 1? What is the clue for blank 1, guys? Definitely not rotates, right? Doesn't make sense. And illogical. Part C, groups. Binding, no, it doesn't bind. What does it do? Why is everybody saying B? So you'll have to choose between B and E. What is the difference? What is the difference between categorize and segregate? Can somebody quickly tell me, when would you say when I'm categorizing something? Think, I'm putting the context again for you. What is the other word for categorize? Categorize means to classify, right? Am I saying geographical borders usually classify cultures? No, we're saying it brings in that difference, right? What is the meaning of segregate? What is the meaning of segregate, guys? To set something apart, right? It distinguishes that particular group, that particular state, that particular culture. So the most effective word is segregate and not categorize. You're not putting the cultures into groups, right? You're saying geographical borders does something to the culture. What does it do? It segregates it because it distinguishes. This person is from this place, this is a culture that they follow, this is the tradition that they follow, these are the values that they hold, these are the ideas that they believe in, and this is the social behavior that they exhibit, right? So our answer is option E, segregate. Exactly. Are you following? So for the blank 1, the clue itself is geographical borders. Borders. Who said borders? Somebody said borders. That is correct. That is your clue. Geographical borders segregate the cultures, sets them apart, sets each culture apart, differentiates. Yes, automatically you will eliminate option B if you apply subject-verb agreement. Good point. In fact, right? We're talking about geographical borders. We're talking about a plural subject. So I don't need a singular verb, categorizes. I need the plural verb, segregate. Absolutely. Right? We anyway narrowed it down between B and E. So if you look at B and E, if I apply subject-verb agreement rule, borders segregate cultures, not borders categorizes cultures, because this is a singular verb. My subject is plural. Yes, very good. I like it. Let's move on. So some characteristics like language, religion, food, habits, social norms, music and art stay specific in one particular culture. Throughout the world, we have a variety of cultures. Cultures have been maintained from time dash and have been handled down from one generation to another. What are my options for the second blank? immemorial, ago, ages gone past. This is an easy one. You just have to apply collocation. And what is the context explaining? What is the collocation, guys? From time immemorial. That is the collocation, boss. Immemorial means what? From very old, from past. Cultures have been maintained from time immemorial. Long time ago, this happened. That's different. Remember the preposition from? This happened long time ago, boss. Yes, time ago. But is there a preposition between that phrase time ago there? This happened a long time ago. Look at that phrase, a long time ago. There's a difference, right? There is no preposition. Here there's a preposition. Cultures have been maintained from time immemorial. Pay attention to the preposition there. From time immemorial, which means from a same thing. It's been there for ages. That's what it means basically. So it is not ago, people. The expression is a long time ago. Yes, this is a collocation, but I can't apply it in this context. From time immemorial. This itself, the entire phrase is the collocation. Got it? Blank 3. Let's see. Continue. So, have been handed down from one generation to another. Okay. It helps people connect with each other and build communities within the same cultural backgrounds. Cultural dash of a particular community are preserved over time and get passed on to future generations. What are my options for blank 3? Affinity, technique, traits, validity, trademark. So we're talking about cultural something. So I need a noun form obviously, and all of my options are noun forms only. Of a particular way are preserved over. So what is a clue word here, guys? In the context, what's a clue word for you to identify the right answer option? Something is getting passed on, right? That is one very important clue phrase for me. What can get passed on? And yeah, preserved also is a clue word, no doubt. So what can get passed on to future generation? Validity? Affinity? What is affinity? Somebody asked what is affinity. Affinity has different meanings, in fact, depending on the context, right? I have an affinity towards so and so, which means I kind of empathize with them, sympathize with them. My inclination is more towards them, right? So that's not the word here, right? Affinity cannot get passed on to future generations, and we need a plural noun number. So I will automatically eliminate option 2, technique. Let me put the question back. Are you guys following? So liking cannot get passed on to future generations, as we've established that fact. So we will eliminate option A. Technique is a singular noun number, out, right? Traits. What are traits? Again, validity cannot get passed on to future generations. Trademark cannot get passed on to future generations. So that is your clue, guys. And that leaves us with option C. Traits. Cultural traits of a particular. What is a trait? Traits means a specific quality, right? These are the traits of this person. This is how characteristics. You've heard characteristic traits, no? That's another collocation. I don't know why they say that. That's again superfluous in meaning for me, because traits itself means characteristics. Yeah. So cultural traits of a particular community are preserved over time and get passed on to future generations. So the ideas and the customs and the social behavior that we follow here in Tamil Nadu, right, in Chennai, gets passed on to future generations. Likewise, what you guys follow there in the north gets passed on to your generations, future generations. Hai na? So let's move to the fourth blank. It survives through dash of time. What are my options? Passage, led, currency, moves, flows. Logically, what can be the answer? What survives? The cultural traits. It survives through dash of time. This is an easy one. You cannot get this wrong. Yes, it has to be this, because we're saying as time passes, as time goes, it survives. Yes. Passage has to be that, right? It can't be led, it can't be currency, illogical, it can't be moves, it can't be flows, has to be passage. So this is the most easiest one. So Knowledge, traditions, language, scripts, dress codes, etc. are some of the traits that are unique to a particular region's culture. It is important as it defines our evolutionary identity. It helps us understand our ancestral what and gives us a very meaning of life. It helps us understand our ancestral what, house, understanding cultural values, utilizes. Again, an easy one, right? It helps us understand our ancestral, I need a noun form, applying word class. Absolutely, right? You can just close your eyes and select this. Fourth and fifth blank, very, very easy. Nobody should get this wrong. Right? Cultural, al suffix, it's in a adjective form, out. House doesn't make sense, though it's a noun form. Understanding, again, doesn't make, understand our ancestral understanding. What does that even mean? Utilizes is not in the noun form. Understand our ancestral values and gives us the very meaning of life. There you go. That's our answer, right? So, in the context, right, every blank, there is an obvious clue in the context. So, we just need to look for that clue and we need to keep applying our strategies. What are some of the strategies we keep applying? We also apply a lot of grammar, right? We applied subject-verb agreement for one of those blanks because, what can I say? We were confused between two options, right? And that subject-verb agreement rule helped us decide. That's the like shortcut method of instead of breaking your head. Shortcut method. I have a plural subject. I need a plural verb. Bang. Finished. You got the answer. So we're constantly applying our basic knowledge of grammar in certain blanks. Yeah. Other thing is, there's always a clue in the context. Understanding the meaning of the context, right? And then it becomes easy for us. So there's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 blanks. Let's do that. Let's read. So though our culture also makes us unique from other parts of the world, what makes it more interesting is amalgamation of dash cultures, which can be obtained through cultural integration. What are my options for blank 6? Alter, diverse, difference, inconsistent, varieties. And what's this word amalgamation mean? So it's saying, though our culture also makes us unique from other parts of the world, what makes it more interesting is amalgamation of dash cultures, which can be obtained through cultural integration. So what is the clue in this context again? Some of you are saying option B, some of you are saying option E. I want you to apply logic. If you apply word class concept, amalgamate, yeah, bringing things together, yes, mix, result of combining, good. So combining of what cultures? I need the right adjective. Yes, definitely. Difference is a noun. Alter is a verb. I need a adjective. Varieties again is a noun. So are we saying we're going to bring in diverse cultures or are we going to bring inconsistent cultures? It doesn't make sense, right? It has to be diverse. Different cultures which can be obtained through cultural integration. Absolutely. Are you getting it? Alter verb, difference noun, inconsistent, incorrect, adjective, right? Varieties noun. So those who said option E, you will eliminate it based on word class. I need a word that describes the cultures, and the clue for us is we are mixing different cultures. Amalgamation is your content clue word. Remember I said adjectives, nouns are your clue words. Let's move on. Cultural integration is a dash of cultural exchange. Options. Cultural integration is a sword stone style symbolic form, which means I need a singular noun number here. What is my, again applying a little bit of grammar, right? Indefinite article a, which means I need a singular noun form and not a plural noun form. What are all my plural noun forms? A and C, out, sorts and styles, by. I have to choose between B, D and E. Cultural integration is a symbolic, again I need a noun form, right? Remember, one of the tips I keep saying is to identify a noun form is to also pay attention to the indefinite article, because articles precede nouns. So it cannot be symbolic, IC, suffix, this is an adjective, right? And cultural integration is a tone of cultural exchange is just illogical. So which leaves us with is a form of culture, yeah, is a form of cultural exchange in which one group assumes the belief, practices, and rituals of another group without sacrificing the characteristics of its own culture. Okay, we're going to move on. 8th plank. So while cultural syncretism carries a negative connotation, cultural integration is generally looked upon as positive because nothing is lost. Seen from this light, cultural integration is a healthy intermingling of the beliefs and rituals of two unique cultures. Therefore, cultural integration typically refers to cultural globalization. Synchronize. Have you heard that word? What is to synchronize? Syncretism. Apply a little bit of context clues and tell me what can it mean. Think. It's the same. Remember, there's always clues in the context, right? We're talking about mixing. Amalgamation is your clue. It's the same as syncretism. It means the same. Bringing together, the merging of something, all of these different beliefs and practices and rituals, right? While cultural syncretism carries a negative connotation, cultural integration is generally looked upon as positive because nothing is lost. Yeah? So where are we? We are looking at blank A. Therefore, cultural integration typically refers to cultural. Okay. Globalization is a process that includes the dash and integration of people, companies, and governments of different nations. What are my options for blank 8? Commune, combine, represent, interaction, indication. Obviously, here again, apply word class, right? I have the definite article, the. Articles precede nouns. Commune, combine, represent are verb forms. Out. I have to choose between interaction and indication. What is the most effective word logically to fit the context? Globalization is a process that includes the dash and integration of people and synonym hint word, which means I need to look at a word that is probably in sync with integration, which is interaction and not indication. We're not talking about a signal here. Interaction and integration of people. Yeah, makes sense? Companies and governments of different nations. Perfect. The globalization and integration of culture is also, pay attention to the synonym hint word and my content word integration right after and, right? Which means I need a word that is in line with integration, that which is not indication, it is interaction. Integration, to bring together. How is that happening? Through interaction, right? When you interact, you integrate. When you integrate, interaction is happening. So these go hand in hand. 9th one. The globalization and integration of culture is also dashed by cellular technology. What are my options? Assist, endured, aided, supports, off. The globalization and integration of culture is also dashed by cellular technology, which means this has already happened. Cellular technology has been a reason for the globalization and integration of culture. We need a past tense verb, right? Look at the amount of grammar that we are applying here. So what can it be? What can I quickly pick as my option? Is also, I'm looking for a word that says support. Okay. But I also have to keep in mind grammar, right? Because we're talking about a past tense, we already know that cellular technology has done this. That is the reason that has happened. Which means even though support is the right word, it's not in the right form. Out. Not off. We don't need a preposition there. We need a action verb. Not endured. Assist is not in the right form, though it carries the same meaning, right? Assist, A, C and D carry the same meaning, but unfortunately it's not in the right form. Aided, which is nothing but, if it was supported, yes, I might have considered option D, right? Ideally that shouldn't be the case because we need only one option. We can't have two options for the blank. So, the globalization and integration of culture is also aided by cellular technology, supported, assisted, where support and assist are not in the right form in the past. So, right, and to endure something means what? It's not a difficult word at all. To endure something means what? You know this word. You've heard people say this. You might have used it yourself. Something that, yeah, like, endure does not mean suffer, Baba. Endure means something that lasts long. I can say the pain and suffering endured, which means it went on and on forever, right? Endure means not pain. I can say the pain endured, which means it lasted for long. So I can, suffer is a word that is predominantly associated with endure, because suffering can be, long suffering. That's another word, right? When you say, something is long suffering, which means they had to go through, or they had to endure that suffering or pain forever and ever, right? The experience that they went through was, it didn't seem to end. That's what it means. Okay, so where were we? Last blank. Let's finish this. So in the past, people around the world were unable to communicate, and interaction among people of different cultures was difficult. The use of information technology has increased the dash of communication between different cultures. What are my options for blank 10? Has increased the, again, word class, definite article, I need a noun form, productive, hampering, efficiency, lack form. The use of information technology has increased the dash of communication between different cultures. Obviously, this sentence again, I need to look at context meaning, right? It's a positive context, which means I don't need negative words. I don't need hampering and lack. I don't need productive. It's not in the right form. It's in an adjective form, right? Between form and efficiency, what is it? Saikaran says form. Has increased the form of communication. We are talking about a positive meaning here. What has use of information technology done for communication? It has increased the efficiency of communication, effectiveness of communication, not the form of communication. Yeah? Option answer is C. Increase the efficiency of something, right? We are talking about the quality of something being effective, right? And since it's a positive meaning context, we are saying, hey, this has helped the communication to a large extent. It has improved. It has, increased the quality of something, right? It has brought the desired result. That's what people are looking for. Got it? Like I said, lack is a negative word. The context is a positive one. The use of information technology has increased the efficiency, not lack of communication. Hamper, stop, as an obstacle, hindrance. Got it? So that brings us to the end of this session. Yeah, and I'll continue to see you guys in the upcoming sessions.